phase between these two.
They banned Echo from blue side. Okay.
Yeah, so the Echo ban.
That's interesting. So Xiaoxi, obviously, I think the first time actually Xiaoxi appeared for LGD, he played Echo jungle. So I always find it curious when teams ban a priority pick like that from blue side. Other bans coming through, Gragas.
That is going to be Gragas taken away from Xiaoxi. Looks like they opt for the slightly more safe.
Never mind, he played Rek'Sai
yeah.
in the first game. I remember now. So priority picking for their sub jungler, taking the Rek'Sai. We've talked about how Rek'Sai is still very potent because of her kit, gives global presence, the ability to invade with Tremor Sense, things like that. On the other side, though, that does leave the Fizz open for Snake.
Flandre, yeah. Once again, Flandre going to be taking that Fizz. Martin this time securing away. And man, that ban phase went through right quick. No chances taken whatsoever. Again, Imp's Callista taken off of the board. Rise pulled from Flame. Standard sort of stuff so far, as it looks like LGD could be going for a little bit of a different AD carry on the bottom side. It's Corki being hovered by Godfrey and Xiaoxi looking at Shen for Flame.
I feel like we talked about this before, how Acorn gets to play Renekton, and then Flame always ends up playing Acorn's champions. Not that Shen's like a specific Acorn champion, but the fact that Renekton, that Kennen's been played, and it's been Acorn
style.
as opposed to Flame.
Yeah. And yeah, so
something interesting about Flame. So I was watching the interview of Flame and how he likes to think about, different champions and his playstyle. Because the thing is you have very different playstyles and different identities between Flame and Acorn to LGD. Flame is very conscious about map movement, specifically with his top laners. And with Shen, you get a lot of split push pressure as well as a lot of global pressure with your Stand United in conjunction with the teleport. So this is right up Flame's alley of being aware about map movements and minion control with Shen.
And that was one of the weaknesses that LGD showed in their previous game. Their sidewave management wasn't terrifically strong over the course of game number 1, and Flandre was really able to put that to good use and abuse it, but looks like Snake going for a very scary composition with that Nidalee locked in and a Nautilus picked up as well. So we'll have to see if Flame is able to keep up with Flandre, but this time he's going to be having to chase a Nidalee around on top of it.
Yeah, ZZR going for the jungle Nidalee. We've seen Swift most recently pulling that one out. So a lot of really aggressive, stop laughing, forward jungling coming out from the sub for Snake.
Yeah. And Diana now picked up for Godvi. Looks like without Kassadin, he's going to be switching to something a little bit more engage heavy with just a bit of CC stacked onto it, whereas PYL, as you said, going for the Thresh to keep things nice and safe.
Diana, a really old school champion. Used to play it back when its name was Wayless. Of course, Wayless, formerly and now known as Godvi. Haven't seen him play that champion in a long time.
Oh, I'm sure he's still got it.
He's got the teleport. He's pulling the Xie.
Yeah. Looks to be an exciting matchup.
Especially with Ezreal opened up. He must think that this is going to be a counter pick, because it was fairly obvious that this would come through, especially because Nidalee was shown, so you already know that you're going into a poke composition. And then the fact that, seeing a poke composition being set up and not taking Braum, choosing to prioritize PYL onto his comfort pick of Thresh, as opposed to taking Braum and denying a lot of that poke, really... we talked about how LGD... coach leaving them. Obviously, they do have someone on stage assisting them with their draft phase, but I feel like back-to-back, this is really wonky.
Yeah. Very interesting team composition out of LGD. You can see the new coach now shaking hands with Snake on the other side of the map, and we're going to run through the rosters in the top. It's Flame versus Flandre, Shen versus Fizz.
Want to talk about beautiful players? LGD's team is full of them, Flame and PYL, but this new guy, Xiaoxi.
Yeah, Xiaoxi in the jungle, filling in for TBQ. He's taking Rek'Sai, who's challenging up against ZZR on Nidalee, and now we've got you and Godvi Diana going for the hard engage to deal with that poke coming out of Snake.
And again, it should have been fairly obvious that a Runeglaive Ezreal could have appeared, so hopefully Godvi has something up his sleeve in that Diana matchup. Imp versus Martin, Sivir versus Corki.
Yeah, and there are the supports right there, PYL and Ella. And it's been interesting that we're seeing Snake go to a poke composition. We've seen them try this composition before, but hasn't really worked out for them.
And the last time they played it, they did have Crystal in their lineup, though, and again, they played a poke composition like a standard 5v5 and didn't lay down their poke before attempting to engage, and got a little bit outmaneuvered.
Yeah. I believe dismantled would be the proper
That's
idea,
a core
but
word.
we're going to load into the Rift for game number 2 right now. And we have loaded onto the Rift between LGD and Snake. This is game number 2 right here. And after a convincing performance in game number 1, can LGD take their first win of the weekend? Because goodness knows they need it.
Likewise, Snake are looking for the 2-0 here. Again, that middle pack of the LPL is so insanely close. The difference between 3 points and 1 point can mean several positions on the ladder.
Yeah, very important distinction for these two. Snake currently sitting at 20 points right now off of that 1 win. Can they make it 22 by taking this next win off of LGD? They're certainly flexing their muscles with this poke composition. Will they be able to successfully pull it off this time around? Or will they suffer the same mistakes that they made last time as LGD are prepared for it? You've got Dive on Rek'Sai, Dive on Diana.
You've got a lot of... Oh, here, I know what I wanted to talk about, is the Runeglaive Ezreal. So we've seen a couple of Runeglaive Ezreals. Pawn being the most successful of them so far. I believe Godvi also tried out his hand at Runeglaive Ezreal against EDG yesterday, but not to a lot of success. So he does have experience playing against one of the better ones that we've seen so far in the LPL, so see if this Diana pick is calculated.
We'll definitely have to find out if Godvi's got his calculator out or if he's just winging it on the Abacus this time around. As it looks like he's going to be starting off in that mid against Use Ezreal.
That was impressive.
And
Abacus.
the rest of the team's going for some standard jungle starts, as it looks like Snake do opt into the lane swap.
No surprises right there. Sivir is going to have priority control. We've seen Snake engage 2 lane swaps now back to back. Sivir should have complete control on getting the first tower. And Flandre is not a stranger to having to double jungle on Fizz.
Yeah, but again, Snake going for the lane swap. We sort of criticized them a little bit about this during game number 1.
I think it's weird.
Well,
I mean,
let's go into why that might be the case.
Either trying to... It makes sense that teams would try to lane swap onto Flandre to keep him down and deny the top laner. I mean, obviously, it just shows to the strength of Flandre and how comfortable he is to take a hard carry champion like Fizz and have no problem, double jungling it. That said, Fizz himself can be a jungler, especially as we come up to 5.13. We're still on 5.12, but it's a comfort thing, but I just always find it a little bit curious that they just won't give Flandre his true 1v1 and allow him to flex his ability as a top laner.
Flandre versus the world, and that does sometimes include his own team.
But it speaks to the strength of Flandre that he is comfortable. He doesn't need the solo 1v1 to find his strength and his impact on his team, but he can, take a hit in the farm and allow his AD carry to get the priority.
Ooh, Godvi, after a quick recall in the mid lane, opts for a second Doran's Ring and immediately teleports back in to find his way against you. Whereas Flandre continues to double jungle along with ZZR. You can see some harass coming across from you, but not terrifically effective against the improved stats of that double Doran. Here comes ZZR, but he's just going to clear out the Scuttle Crab. Should be spotted out by Godvi, though. Yeah, he sees it.
And likewise, you're able to take teleport and other summoners that aren't necessarily offensive or defensive against a Runeglaive Ezreal because he's sacrificing his offensive kill pressure, not only in being an Ezreal, but in the fact that he has Smite. In his core itemization, I mean, unless he goes, typically you go Sheen first and then you pick up your Trailblazer, although if he needs to just farm and he's having a tough time, he can go Trailblazer and just try to even out the gold there. But it allows a pick like a Teleport Diana to come back into the meta because you're not going to be punished for not having that Exhaust or Ignite.
We'll have to see if Yu is able to make advantage of having that Smite and successfully keep up as he's continuing to farm it up right now. And Godvi just keeps him occupied right on down there while the junglers clear it out nice and standard-like. Again, in the bottom side of the map, Imp once again going solo against Flandre. We saw it in game number 1. Now we've seen it again in game number 2. Has Flandre learned anything from game number 1? Will he be able to take any sort of pressure to Imp, or is he just going to sit back and be defensive just like game 1?
He doesn't have any kill pressure on Corki, especially with Corki having the Valkyrie until he has his level 6. So at this point, Flandre is at the mercy in this lane. Likewise, where the waves are positioned. Flame, as you can see, has the CS lead, and it's only going to grow as a big wave is approaching him on that tower. But they are setting up for a dive.
Yeah, they certainly are. PYL roams down with Xiaoxi. Wolf Spirit is going to spot them out, but the dive happens first on the top as Flame gets targeted out, and Snake pick up first blood onto ZZR.
Just a complete error from Flame to stay, especially as soon as he saw the teleport going down. There wasn't a lot of options either way. I think he probably would have died no matter what, but could have at least tried to get off that tower. That said, with all of the resources expended top, hitting that tower, LGD will take the dragon.
Yeah, interesting to see Snake end up pulling the trigger with that first lane swap and even the first dive now. Yes, they're giving up the first dragon, but could this be a different sort of change of pace from Snake with this composition?
I would like to see Snake now collapse to the bottom side, although I think they might prioritize denying farm from Flandre as opposed to securing the first tier tower. We did see Imp do a little bit of proxy farming, but in the mid lane.
Ooh, Godby gets level 6, turns onto you and just punishes him just a touch. Try bullying him out of lane as he does have that additional sustain, though with ZZR in the wings, you probably feels pretty safe, but Godby goes deep and just solos him. Is he going to get the kill? He's going 1v3 here. He needs just a little bit of mana, but he cannot find it, and he goes down.
Godby going so deep without the mana pool for it. Great play from you. Has to burn his flash, so wow. I can't believe he did that.
Yeah, Godby going really aggressive. Thought he had the numbers, but he just didn't, and with the rest of Snake waiting in the wings, that's another kill, though LGD respond by taking that bottom tier 1.
It's incredibly punishing, and more importantly, Flandre able to pick up the assist right there pretty much shores up the gold disparity between him and Flame. Likewise, because Flame went down and missed that big wave pushing into his tower. So this CS discrepancy of 14 should mean nothing between the two gold
Assists.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Words are hard.
We'll keep an eye on that. Again, it's Flandre. This is the guy who can make do with getting hardly any gold. Flame manages to land the Shadow Dash onto Ella under the turret. He takes just a bit of damage, but Martin looks to secure this first turret for Snake, but PYL makes it in time with Xiaoxi. Dark Passage brings them in. Ella runs on out of there, but
he has flash, but the creep wave.
Yeah, decides not to commit to it. Xiaoxi actually gets turned on by Martin, burning the blue pot for additional mana, gets an auto attack reset. The hook lands. Xiaoxi's taking a lot of damage, but they turn it now onto Martin. There's the challenging smite. There's no backup from Flandre.
Oh.
Spell shield to dodge the hook. Stand United doesn't get him too far forward, but Flame continues to provide chase. Ella's looking to make it under the turret. Can he get out of there alive? Flash gets him out, and he does.
And Xiaoxi doesn't look for the Prey Seeker right there. Almost a beautiful turn, but great spell shield from Martin to make sure that he wouldn't get locked up.
Here comes Godby, turns it around, gets one. Is he going to look for number 2? Got it. The reset on the Lunar Rush. P-Whale's tanking as best he can. He goes low, and it's a double kill for Godby.
Another beautiful spell shield from Martin right there to deny the knockup. Meanwhile, mid lane.
Yeah, in the mid lane, ZZR trades it up just a bit with Imp, and it's a 1-for-1 in the mid.
And again, ZZR knowing that he can go fully aggressive because everyone knows where every single resource is on the map right now. Godby really flexing his dive, Diana.
Yeah, he is bloodthirsty this game, picking up 2 kills now and turning it around to clear that wave on the top side of the map. Interesting that we saw Imp in the mid lane over the course of that trade, but all in all, it's now 3 for 3 between the two, dead to even in gold, despite a turret advantage for LGD.
And again, speaking to how Flame, likes to play his champions, how he is very focused on wave control and manipulating and moving his champions and how they rotate across the map. He was just involved in that top side, and immediately we see him in the bot side farming away. He's now opened up the CS discrepancy close to 30 on Flandre.
Yeah, Flandre is going to have to get a few more kills if he hopes to shore that difference a bit, but now he's CSing on the top side of the map while Godby clears out his blue, and LGD send their dual lane into the mid with Imp and PYL trading that harass against that AP Ezreal.
Did choose to go for the Sheen, also has the Trailblazer available to him, so is looking for that Runeglaive. And why Runeglaive Ezreal is so potent is because it gives Ezreal wave clear on his Mystic Shot, as well as converts that Mystic Shot into AP damage.
And that is some serious damage from Ezreal. I'm sure during the brief time in which he was a highlight in some of the other regions, we've all come to know and hate that incredible damage that he can put out there. But again, this is 5-12, so he still exists in his prime condition with this matchup. There goes the death sentence from PYL.
More importantly, the Luden's Echo is still working in conjunction with the Runeglaive.
There goes the True Shot Barrage, you take some harass right back from Imp. Now Dragon's up in 2 minutes. Looks like some action on the bottom side as Snake look to put some pressure on that bottom tier 1, zoning Flame away, and without any backup, he's forced to miss a few of these CS.
Complete night and day difference between Snake's early game last time around and this time around, trying to take full control over this. That said, LGD still have their footing in it with mostly plays from Godby.
Yeah, some serious work being done by that Diana. You can see how aggressive he was with that first attempted kill. He was able to pick up the second few, and now he's left to lane against Flandre. And I'm intrigued by this rotation by LGD to keep Diana in the top lane with teleport, keep Flame in the bottom with teleport, and keep the duo in the mid lane.
And of course it makes sense because you're utilizing your global reach into your side lanes, and then you have the lane that obviously takes the longest to get somewhere in the shortest range to get anywhere.
We'll have to see if that works out for LGD as Dragon's now up in 40 seconds. Martin continues to farm it up on the bottom side of the map again. Had a bit of a CS deficit behind Imp, but that can be expected against the Season 4 World Champion himself.
You like talking about Imp's Season 4 World Championship.
I really like World Champions. I think they're cool dudes.
Yeah, can't agree.
What?
No? It's all you?
I didn't actually have any.
Oh, it's okay. Dragon's up in 10 seconds. Both the teams should be setting up for this one. That's why we see Martin backing, spending his gold, picking up new items. Picks up quite a few AD items.
Yeah, going for the standard tower push style Sivir with that raw AD and the Zerker Greaves. Now Dragon has just spawned. Hook comes out from PYL as Imp continues to shove it up in the mid, but isn't quite able to find that very slippery Azrael. Here comes the
Void Rush.
Void Rush from Xiaoxi as he heads back to that side of the map just to make sure he's in position and prepared. Interesting that he's gone for the Sightstone before completing his Cinderhulk.
It does kind of make sense with the fact that we're about to approach a dragon fight. Likewise, just kind of empowering his team. Flandre also making his back, does have teleport available. I'm just really curious how either of these teams are going to set up for the dragon, but Imp seems to think that it's safe enough to go back now because they have enough resources on that side of the map to at least delay the dragon should Snake try to pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, it seems like Snake are, in fact, pulling the trigger. ZZR gets a pink ward onto the pit and immediately pulls it right on out. Will they be able to burn through that health in time, as it looks like LGD may have, again, sacked a dragon to free
go for the steal.
with untimely recalls. And yeah, Xiaoxi gets in there, takes the Dark Passage right on out. Is he going to be chased over? So much damage comes across from the Runeglaive Ezreal. Flandre turns it around. Yu gives chase. Stand United keeps him alive, but there goes the great auto attack from Yu. Mystic Shot picks it up while they manage to get another kill onto PYL. Yu continues to chase onto Imp. Ella not going to dive his way through the minion wave.
And again, an untimely back from Imp, although you could see that there was communication about it, that they had the resources in place that they could have looked for a steal. The classic Rek'Sai unburrow over the wall into the Lantern. Fortunately, Xiaoxi not able to make it connect, but
Godby does some serious damage, destroys ZZR, but he finds Flandre. Can Flandre trade it 1-for-1? But no, he can't. Godby gets the solo kill.
He is doing so much damage with double Doran's Nashers. Doesn't even have boots.
I've actually never seen what he just did before. Throwing out the Crescent Slash, flashing to get into melee range, then Lunar rushing not once but twice.
It's like the
for the full rush damage.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Akali's would do if you think about it,
yeah.
where your Q cooldown is lower than your mark cooldown. So what you do is you Q them, and then you wait for the full duration for the Q to come back up, and you immediately go to procs. You get 2 procs instantly, as opposed to procking one and then procking another. So you surprise them with the burst damage versus giving them that small window of opportunity where they can, oh crap, disengage.
Yeah. Did not quite succeed for ZZR that time, as Godby looking to help his team transition a little bit stronger into the mid game and late game as he continues to scale up. 3-1-0 right now, and he is so bloodthirsty. You can just sort of tell how sour he is this time after that previous game just by looking at how aggressive he is. Anytime someone's out of position, he immediately dashes in to punish them.
Likewise, taking full advantage, having him in that side lane, just going back to LGD's core about their top laner and their mid laner being so key to their side wave management.
Ooh, PYL looking for the hook. Oh.
Tries to predict.
He did, but he just wasn't in range. Not quite. Good try. Good
He
try.
should ward the mid lane. He needs to ward like right there.
Perhaps that would be a good idea, but it seems like he's not going to commit to it just yet.
I don't think he wants to drop it right now because they have vision with the creep wave, and he just doesn't want to like give them a sweep. Would be my guess.
Oh, ZZR and Ella helping you out in the mid lane, as it looks like it's just going to be a pretty standard farm fest for a few minutes. As again, we go for some more split pushing with Godfrey on the top side and Flandre, or not Flandre.
That's Flandre.
Flame
Oh.
on the bottom side of the map. A 1-2-1 split push out of LGD.
Void Rush being used. Godby may be in a little bit of trouble here as a lot of Snake's members collapse onto the top side of the map. Which is kind of curious because the next most important objective, well, they are moving, okay, so this makes sense. So Dragon's down, they're moving their vision over into the top side underneath Baron, but the most important objective for them is going to be that mid-tier tower.
We'll see if they are going to be able to crack it down. They look for some damage now. Snake regroup back up into the mid lane and don't really manage to find anything. The poke coming across hard and heavy, but LGD aren't going to take any of it.
But this is where Snake are empowered. It's when they're sieging onto turrets and they're able to make the most of their poke as well as their Sivir. So they really need to get themselves in gear.
We'll see if they are going to be able to pull it off. 17 minutes into the game right now. Dead even in gold despite a 2-turret lead for LGD. Looks like they would be able to take this turret, knock up Flying's Ella. Stand United to bring him back in as well, but he goes under the turret. Xiaoxi finds that kill. Here comes Godby from the backside, teleporting onto Martin. He goes down. Godby provides chase on the
Oh
unit,
my God.
destroys him with a complete solo kill.
That was absurd. That said, Martin sat on the hunt for far too long right there. He should have immediately popped that as soon as he saw LGD going for the aggressive, and in one fell swoop, LGD are back in control.
Yeah, they're going to take this mid-tier 2 turret. 5 versus 2 right now. Spear finds PYL. You can see he's taking some serious punishment from ZZR, but the turret has already collapsed, and Flandre is not able to find the avenue that he quite wants in this one. And suddenly LGD, as you said, back in the lead, 3,000 gold.
That was absurd. Look at this teleport from Wayless from behind, just immediately on to Martin. Of course, destroys him instantly, but that damage on you.
Wow. Ridiculous. Even going for the home
That's
guard
my
play.
face.
Amazing play from Godby.
This guy is excellent. They've shown his face all night. I want him on at every single event in my life. Just so I can see his expression.
Oh, Godby could be caught out here. Takes some damage. Spear, oh, gets pulled right back in from ZZR. Unfortunately, 1v4 is not how Godby likes his team play.
But he's almost able to trade 1-for-1. Look at the damage that he put back onto ZZR, and that's through a heal, so he's even lower than that. Dragon going to be on the board in 30 seconds, and both teams need to start setting up for that.
Yeah, LGD ahead 3 turrets, but only about 1,000 gold.
What you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think he was trying to assassinate you.
I don't think he quite
Well,
succeeded.
to be fair, though, if Corki ever did get on top of Ezreal, I mean, obviously Ezreal's going to Essence. What is it? It's an Essence Flux? Arcane Shift.
Arcane Shift, Essence Flux.
Yeah, Arcane Shift himself back, but he needs to land all his skill shots, whereas Corki's just going to cone damage Gatling gun, you know?
Yep. Dragon number 2 respawns for Snake. They
I think
do
I've
have
seen this before.
the better positioning. Let's see if LGD can make it in time. Godby looking for the flank. He's
He
not
got
going to make it. The steal comes out from Xiaoxi, but looks like they're going to turn this fight around. You get so much damage across. Godby joins in. He turns on the ZZR now, flanks on the Flandre, but he cannot find his way onto Ezreal on the back. He does indeed and manages to get the kill. Meanwhile, Flandre running for his life, and LGD clean it up after stealing the Baron. Stand United not on cooldown just yet. Some damage on the U. Is he going to make it out of this one? The big one finds the ace for LGD.
Beautiful team fight to turn that one on, and a great smite steal from Xiaoxi. Didn't get it the first time, gets it the second time. Godby, though, again, this Diana is just massive in the team fights.
Yeah, here's a replay.
Okay, so super proud of Xiaoxi, gets the steal right there. They immediately lock up Ella, but the big problem is the fact that Yu just has 0 mana at this point. So gets off, what, 3 abilities, 4 abilities, and then by the very end of it, locked up by Flame. And he's got nothing left to participate with.
good try from you, but as you mentioned, no mana and no chance of escaping. Ends up going down the ace in favor of LGD at the end of that fight. Now, it's past 20 minutes. That the Baron has finally spawned, so could see LGD going for a similar sort of style of play that they went for in game number 1, as Flame dashes away from Flandre.
So Dragon's down. Both teams can now play to the top side of the map. It's going to be about controlling the creep waves and looking for those mid-tier towers. Although LGD with second-tier mid-tower, I would say that they have more control over the Dragon, especially because Snake have yet to secure, Baron. They have more control over the Baron pit because Snake have yet to secure that first-tier mid-tower.
With that tower still standing.
Oh, that Luden's Echo on the Runeglaive.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But you can see Imp, he's feeling okay.
That's cool.
Healing it right back up as he has completed his own Trinity Force. And interestingly enough, Martin going for the Yomu's Ghostblade first.
Mid-game power Sivir. Interesting. It's going to assist him in repositioning. It's a very cost-efficient item for your mid-game power spike. You're sacrificing your Infinity Edge, so obviously you're losing a lot of 5v5 damage.
Imp solo kills you in the mid lane with some copious amounts of damage. Oh, here comes the Dark Passage across as it looks like PYL and Flame want to get aggressive here. Teleport almost available for Godby. There goes the flash. Death sentence, but Flandre playfully dodges out of that one. Godby with the split push.
And we talked about how Imp, hiding around that corner was looking for this play on you earlier. So again, the fact that if he's able to just kind of peek and get on top of Ezreal, he can very quickly burst him.
And there goes the top tier 2 turret for free to Godby. That's now 5 turrets to 1 as LGD are effectively dealing with Snake's poke composition just by never grouping up and allowing Snake to toss out that poke.
No, I completely agree, and LGD looking much more comfortable playing with multiple global pressure points, having not only the double teleport, but the Stand United and the Void Rush. I mean, they could be everywhere.
They are everywhere. I think that's the scary thing. So far, Snake have not been able to take any objectives outside of that Dragon, that LGD seeded for free, and the turret. Here comes the teleport now from Godby as he looks to join the battle with the rest of his team. There goes the knockup. Godby rides it hard, but Flandre looks to get onto the back line. PYL and Godby diving in. Do they have enough damage? Flandre goes low. Godby cleans house with a double kill, and 3 members of Snake are destroyed. LGD are running away with this game.
Small choke points like that. I forget what the ability is called, where she has her 3 balls around her.
I don't actually know.
Yeah. Good job, play-by-play caster.
Well, she's got the Crescent Slash and the Lunar Rush.
The one where she has her 3 little, I always call it the Mario Kart because it's like little balloons in the battle system. That is just devastating in choke points. It was also recently buffed, 4 patches ago? Probably longer than that.
Yeah.
And with that team fight, it will mean the Baron. And like we said, LGD, they look like a completely different team. They were in control of the last game, but not nearly to the same confidence or extent that they are this game. And so what's changed? Well, A, you've got Flame instead of Acorn. But more importantly, and B, I would say the global presence, having the Void Rush, the Stand United, the double teleport. It just plays so well into what LGD do naturally.
Ooh, no steal yet for Imp ZZR. Flandre managed to pick it up. A spear finds PYL. Flay slowing him down. There's the Stand United. PYL goes solo. True Shot Barrage. Ooh, still is going to pick up the kill. And it looks like LGD are forced to run away from this one as Snake turned the fight. Imp with no mana is forced to run away, and there goes more damage from you. Godby has joined the fight. He finds ZZR. He isn't able to get one. Turns now on to Flandre, looking for 2. Triple kill. No, a double kill, as it's going to be a kill picked up by Imp. That's a triple kill now for Godby, and Flandre runs away. That looked so good for Snake, but the moment Godby joins the fight, it just turned on its head.
Scumbag Imp. That could have been a pentakill for Godby. Of course, Flandre hopping away, but this Diana is 10-3-5, has the Nastras and the Abyssal complete. You already know why I love Abyssal, especially when you've got so much magic jamming stacked onto your team. Godby just empowering everyone, so not only when he gets into the team fights is he just this massive burst damage, but he gives a nice aura to his little Corki to steal the double kill.
Amazing play from Godby with this one. 25 minutes in, still rocking Baron on the Godby and Flame split pushers. They managed to take down that last tier 2 turret. as Snake are consolidated to defending inside of their base, and what looked like a very good pick for Snake suddenly got turned on its head when LGD turned it right back around. But
again, Snake just don't really understand how poke compositions are played or when they're strong. We've seen them struggle with this pretty much all split anytime they pick up a comp like this.
Yeah, it seems like they're not quite able to find the poke that they've been looking for. Looks like Godby, with the Baron buff, manages to find his way onto the mid inhibitor turret and shreds through it before diving in and destroying ZZR. Ella looks like he's the next target as Imp shreds through with magic damage of his own. Godby, oh my gosh, he is leading the charge for Snake. He gets it charged up and destroys Martin completely. I didn't even know you could do that much damage.
Martin didn't even know what hit him right there. He was alive 1 second, he was gone the next.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Just the threat and the reach of this Diana right now. If she ever touches you, and she's super sticky, you're never getting away, you're dead.
Yeah, here comes Dragon number 3 for LGD. They no longer have Baron buff. Well, seems like Godby actually still has his. Flame's still going to be rocking his as well. You can see the body of Martin on the ground right there. But this is LGD. I mean, this is the style that they wanted to play in game number 1, but Snake had the composition to wait it out and deal with this aggressive pressure. Godby going in 1v4 here. PYL with the flank, and LGD clean this up.
I mean, we call that a 1v4, but suddenly from every single angle, as Ella will be the last to fall, LGD just collapse and rip through Snake.
Yeah, it's like...
That's like a pack of wolves descending.
Oh man, poor Snake just didn't even stand a chance right here. ZZR takes some more damage from Imp, gets out with his life, but he might not be able to get out with his Nexus. As BYL rushes forward along with the rest of LGD, could they end the game right now? They've got 10 seconds before Flandre, Yu, and Ella get back up. They're on the bottom Nexus turret.
All that needs to happen is, yeah, Godby just needs to step forward, and the game's over.
Gosh, he does so much damage. What is this Godby? Where did he come from, and where is he going? Because I want to be on this train. Godby dealing with the Nexus while the rest of his team is peeling, but no, he gets another kill. 14, 3, and 8. Is it going to be 15? It is 15, 3, and 8 before he finally ends the game. LGD take their first win of the weekend.
And in a much more convincing fashion.
Look at how happy he looks.
Guys, did you see me? I went. In a much more convincing fashion than the first game. That said, Snake managing to slide out the first one from a gold deficit, so LGD do miss out on their 3 points. And in the overarching narrative and scheme of things, unfortunately, this 1-1 doesn't cut it.
Yeah, it's just not quite going to be enough for LGD, and that was a convincing win. That's the style of LGD that I think we all expected to see now that the heat was turned on, but the fact that they had so much trouble getting to that point, finding their groove with this, it could mean trouble for them further down the line.
Big thing also is kind of playing with the jungle sub. So we expect to see Acorn and Flame. What we don't expect is to see Twin TBQ subbed out for Xiaoxi. And to be honest, Xiaoxi is looking strong. I mean, maybe not a carry jungler performance, but looking a lot more solid in how they're approaching these engagements. The confidence to, you know, put the Stand United on Rek'Sai a couple of times and have Xiaoxi try to engage those fights. So if LGD start getting more comfortable, if they're able to look for different avenues to shore up some of their weaknesses in their jungle, could be kind of an interesting rise.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on LGD as they manage to take that split. Snake, on the other hand, probably feeling pretty confident. They got 3rd place in the Demacia Cup, beating out IG. They were able to take a win off of LGD, who are heavily contested and considered dark horses over the duration of this tournament. You can see Godby shaking hands with Snake right now, feeling awful happy about that win. You can see it smiles from just about everyone between these two.
How could you not smile? Godby, I think he killed 3 people over the course of like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, that was absolutely stellar play from Godby. Oh, man, he looks so kicking with those
capris.
Yeah. I imagine those would be the kind of shorts that Diana would actually wear when just walking around town.
Okay, that took an interesting turn.
Because like he's the Diana. He's the Diana player that I have seen, probably the best Diana player that I've seen in a long time.
Well, yeah, Xie, excuse me, the WE mid laner obviously debuted the big teleport Diana at IEM
I believe so.
But he had a good Diana back when he was known as Wayless. So yeah.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye on LGD in the future. We're going to go ahead and take a